Hey guys, Tom itself here. With all this new information about Black Ops 2 coming out, I wanted to sit down and talk about some of the previous Call of Duty games, and not so much about the stuff we remember so well that was used all the time, that was super overpowered. Instead, I want to talk about some of the stuff that you didn't see much of, that people are like, why on earth is that in the game? So, now obviously these are my opinions, you may not share them. Please feel free to use the comment section below to express your thoughts. Well, let me get a few out of the way that are obviously just, a few of my thoughts. First, Ninja Dead Silence, kind of a what the heck, because if you're playing competitive, you're playing against good people in a slower game mode, super important, but I play a lot of domination against the scrubbies, and I've never used it. I mean, really, I don't use it. So that's been in all sorts of Call of Duty games. Let's see. Then there are perks that are simply outclassed by others in their category. So you've got things like Black Ops Hardened and Hardened Pro. And for the effect Pro gives you, I think you'd normally be better off with Sleight of Hand Pro. It's just like, never used it. Then you've got Lightweight, which from a balance standpoint is weird. And Lightweight's been all sorts of games like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops. Apparently it's making a return in Black Ops 2. So it's weird because it's one of the characteristics of weapons normally is your movement speed, and so then they put that in a perk category. It's kind of weird, but it's not really useful, and it's one of these perks that's not useful without another perk. So, Lightweight, what the heck? You've got things like the shotgun foregrip. On a weapon that is a pump action, a foregrip makes no sense at all. So it's kind of like, especially in World at War, where it took up your first perk slot. It's like, why on earth would you want that? Alright, and picking on World at War some more here, you got Fireproof, which was the anti-flamethrower and Molotov perk. There were 10 second perks, 10 red perks in World at War, and Fireproof was just one of those, well, if you wanted to keep a class around explicitly in case you ran into a bunch of idiots running around with flamethrowers, you could, but, you'd probably be just as good off just, shooting them with your gun with stopping power. World at War did some really weird stuff. So let's get back into I'm going to go through a top 10 here. Get those first couple out of the way. That's kind of my opinion. But number 10, World at War's Tossback. That's World at War's where they introduced stickies, and I get into explosives in another commentary, but you can't toss back stickies. So what the heck? Now when they incorporated that into Flak Jacket, I think that's what it was. The Black Ops Blue perk, then it's kind of useful, but having to rely on throwing a grenade back that may kill you if you don't get there in time is kind of silly. Oh, I don't know, with Martyrdom it was kind of useful because you knew exactly when you killed the guy and he dropped an weird. Number 9, again, World at War, I'm picking on Gasmask and Shades, because they're more super specialized perks that even if you had your entire team with Gasmask running the tab and gas, it still wasn't great. Or if you had your entire team run Shades and threw flares everywhere, even on a tiny map like Dome, it still really wasn't that useful. Like, World at War did some really weird things, just too many second perks. Alright, so CoD 4, and I guess this was a pro part of Steady Aim. That was a really weird choice, wasn't it? In Modern Warfare 2 was Iron Lungs. Being able to hold your breath longer as a sniper. If you need that, you're probably doing it wrong for a Call of Duty game. It's just, no, you don't need to hold your breath more than a couple seconds. If you're trying to, you're doing it wrong. Alright, so number 7 on my list, a lot of people are going to say was just overpowered and overused, because it was fairly common, but at the same time, I think that from a balance standpoint, it was a very poor choice, and that is Sonic Boom, Danger Close, Fireworks, all the explosive power boosting perks. The thing is, they don't make the explosives that much better in most cases. The lethal radius doesn't improve that much, and the thing is, you get very limited supplies of explosives to start out with unless you have Scavenger or one-man army, in which case you're not terribly limited. So balancing that perk is really weird. I don't know, again, it's back to the whole, you need to have this perk and another perk in order to actually make some kind of reasonable use of it, because if you're running Danger Close without Scavenger or one-man army, what the heck are you doing? So, alright, and number 6, back to CoD 4, and I guess there was some copy of this in World at War 2, is Bomb Squad. Now eventually this got turned into sit rep, where you could actually see the little thing through the walls and all the way across the map, and you could figure out which direction a claymore was facing, and it was great. But back in CoD 4 and World of War, it just put this kind of danger icon over it, and you couldn't tell what the threat was, and it was kind of hard to figure out exactly where it was, and the range on the perk was fairly limited, so you couldn't be like, couldn't have one person in the middle of the map spotting dangerous equipment for all of the team, you know. And in general, you're better off with claymores in CoD 4. You're better off looking for the red lines than trying to use bomb squad. So yeah, that one they managed to improve it and make it better, but it started out as kind of a WTF. Alright, so in Modern Warfare 3, Overkill is pretty much a what the heck are you doing? Back in CoD 4, and maybe even World of War, where pistols weren't so great, it had its uses. You could get away with using it. But when you've got secondaries that are really good, and you're not relying on, you know, your handgun secondary if you get in trouble, Overkill made some sense in those games. Although again, swapping back and forth was kind of troublesome. That's I don't know. For Modern Warfare 3, Overkill was kind of a what the heck are you doing? This is, you know, just pick up another gun off the ground is really. It's not like Battlefield where you have to take the entire kit. If you want to get 2 primary weapons, well, all you have to do is find another one on the ground. Though with the way they changed picking up ammo and ammo sharing, well, let's not get into that, but it seems like they changed some things in order to make scavenger more useful. Yeah. On we go with number 4. Back in Modern Warfare 2, Scrambler was a what the heck? How are you trying to be sneaky when it's apparent that you're in the area? But when Black Ops turned that into a piece of equipment, suddenly it's pretty useful. Oh hey. You know, it was a little bit of a little change, similar mechanic, and suddenly it's not a what the heck is this perk supposed to be for. Alright, number 3. CoD 4, as much as I love the game, the last 3 are all going to be in there. So, CoD 4 Double Tap. While it has the same, roughly the same effect on time to kill as stopping power, you use more ammo, whereas stopping power just makes your ammo more effective. So, Double Tap means you just reload more, even if your time to kill is about the same. You know, just use stopping power, really. So I guess that's why it eventually became a weapon attachment, and now it's kind of useful. Back in CoD 4 again, sleight of hand again, completely outclassed by stopping power. I used to run around with an ACOG M21 and do some silly stuff with sleight of hand, but really it was just super goofy and not very good. And finally, number 1. This is going to be number 1 on everyone's list if you're not crazy, because the most WTF perk of all time in Call of Duty has got to be Eavesdrop from Call of Duty 4. In a game where you actively mute your own teammates, why on earth would you want to listen to the other team? So, and over the years they've fine-tuned the balancing between the perks, the functionalities, and especially with the pro perks, when you have multiple things the same perk does, it's slowly approached a little bit better balance. Unfortunately, it's gotten a whole lot more complicated. So, yeah, it's going to be a little bit harder to figure things out. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for listening, and I'm really just interested to read some of your comments on the WTF perks of Call of Duty. I'm sure there are quite a few different opinions, and I'm not going so much for the what the heck were they thinking this is overpowered perks as much as the what the heck were they thinking this would be any use perks. So you got things like 3 frag. All the blue perks give you +2 explosives. What's wrong with having +2 grenades? Well, it turns out the raining death is kind of annoying. So, or I don't know, things like death streaks. Oh my gosh, they're annoying. You see them all the time, and yeah, they're obviously going to be useful. That was the point. And yeah, they're really annoying, and what the heck were they thinking? But yeah, they're not. It's not the WTF, this is so useless kind of perk. So that's kind of what I was after here. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.